A Fox Sports radio host declared the Astros the Patriots of baseball. Paul Gallant, our resident Patriots fan, obsessor of Tom Brady, worshiper of Bill Belichick, disrespecter of Peyton Manning. What do you say about what this Fox Sports radio host had to say?
It's preemptive because you have to win at least a second title. But they're not off. They are disliked across all fan bases in baseball. They are more successful than any team in baseball has been over the last 5 years. And that kind of consistency is really hard to do in baseball, especially with how baseball teams seem to be more and more cheap when it comes to the luxury tax. Like the Dodgers are really the only team that doesn't seem to give a damn about it anymore. The Yankees even do. The Red Sox even do. They have maintained this consistency. And I know some people don't want that moniker, but honestly, you should. I mean, I think that's like the highest compliment that you can give somebody. You are hated by everybody, and you are better than everybody. I mean, that's awesome. That's what you want to be.
You've said before that you want the Astros and Astros fans to kind of lean into booing.
Yes.
I do agree that it makes baseball more fun when there is a villain, especially a sport where they're trying to get young people more involved. They want to elicit emotions. So you're saying that the Astros should lean into being the bad guys, not only while the remnants of the cheating scandal continue to kind of digress, but just in general. Because even though Tom Brady's no longer with the Patriots, there is still the Patriot quote-unquote way and kind of hatred. It's not as strong as it was, but it's still there.
The Patriot way is interesting because it's more about the way that they operated their team, where they would, first off, not pay anyone an astronomical amount of money. And two, if you were still talented and you weren't doing things the right way, they would cut ties with you. There are these other things like, Patriots. The Patriots way is being a choir boy and stuff like that. No. I mean, Aaron Hernandez was on the team. So,
right.
I mean, that was always a little bit ridiculous.
That's a good point. I think it's more of the Texans way as being a choir boy, right?
Yeah, except for, Deshaun Watson. And,
well.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's be honest. Like the idea of every single team being able to keep a roster of 53 men who are many of them are in their early 20s. Like that's uphill battle to say the least. But, with the Astros, what you have seen is a team that hasn't given its best players the big contracts. And they have all been for, I think, in ways, legitimate reasons. I miss George Springer. But would the Patriots have let George Springer walk? Probably.
Good point.
Springer
Carlos Correa.
Correa. Garrett Cole. Zach Greinke, to a lesser extent.
Wow, there are a lot of similarities.
I mean, they don't stay married to star talent. They consistently believe that they can replace that talent with the guys that they draft, the guys that they develop. And I think that's the thing that they don't get enough credit for of late. Jeremy Pena, I mean, what was the ramp-up period for him to play like this? 3 weeks?
You know what's funny is I said on AT&T Sportsnet a couple of weeks ago,
humble brag,
that Justin Verlander is similar to being like the Tom Brady of baseball because he's 39. He's overcome injuries. He's just as dominant in some ways as he was a few years ago. To your point, if the Astros win another World Series, not go to another one, if they win another one, are they in the conversation for kind of dynasties like the Patriots?
Definitely. They have to win the next one, though. And I mean, this is what's so pivotal about this year. There will be other years that the Astros have opportunities. I don't think this is going to just fade into nothing overnight. But you got to get that second one so that people will talk about you years from now. And then you got to get the third one so that people will definitely talk about you years from now. I mean, if you look at what this team is right now, and then you watch this Derek Jeter documentary, which, by the way, episode 2, significantly better. Because they started focusing on the entirety of the 1996 Yankees as opposed to...
Don't they do 2 parts at a time?
I think so.
Okay.
Right. I'm behind. I didn't watch any over the weekend. But if you want to have a documentary made about this team, you've already got the scandal. You already have a team that's made it to 5 straight World Series. You just need the other one. And honestly, I would love to see somebody someday make a documentary about this run. I mean, it's incredible.
It has been an incredible run.